the host. It's absolutely wonderful. All right. So, well, thank you so much for joining us here today. Today is May 14th, 2025. We are in the first session of today's 3 sessions, starting at 10 a.m. CET time. And the way that we do these, because all of you are fortunately joining us for the first time, is we just have you give a very short introduction of who you are and why you are thinking that using what you're doing with your values and how you use that for yourself personally or professionally, how you think AI could help you with that. Because once we've all introduced ourselves, we then talk about possible tools or helps for doing that. And I just give a short introduction to a tool. So, Anne, since you were here first and you're at the top of my screen, and there we go, there's Daniel joining us as well. Hello, Daniel, do you hear us? Okay. Okay. Argiro, thank you. That's very good. Thank you for letting us know where you are. Daniel, do you hear us? Or Daniel?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, wonderful.
Having problem with the mic.
Oh, okay, very good. Oh, wonderful. So, Anne, why don't you start? Tell us a little about who you are, why you're bringing your values to this meeting, and where you think AI could possibly help you in making a bigger impact.
I'll try and make this as succinct as possible because I have a lot of hats. But I'm Anne Palmer. I'm based in the UK, in London. I've got an extensive history in the field of education, very well known in the UK for what I do. My 3 areas are leadership, diversity and inclusion, and artificial intelligence. I'm on the Department for Education Working Party for AI, leading educators into AI without too many mishaps. I published a book recently on artificial intelligence in education, again to support strategic thinking, because what I was finding was educators were simply picking small bits of edtech and trying to fit them together like a jigsaw puzzle. So I've put my book, basically pulls them back into thinking very carefully about what they're doing. And obviously one of the chapters in the book is around values and ethics. I'm part of the Chartered College of Teaching Ethics Committee, so we cover 45,000 teachers in England. So that has a big strand there. So why am I here today? We do bits of training for schools, obviously for boards and governors and beyond. Although I do a lot around ethics in the field of diversity and inclusion, I'm less versed on values linked to artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. So it's really to deepen my knowledge so that if that becomes a point of discussion within the training that I do, that the schools do, that they're able to approach it in a way that supports the values of their own organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much. I was just going to mention to Agiro that he says something in the chat, and he's done that. So thank you very much. We can all read in the chat what you're doing. Thomas, why don't you tell us a little more about why you're here and what you can bring to the table?
Yeah, I'm Thomas, and I'm from Sweden. I have been working as a leadership and career consultant for many years. I have also, together with some partners, developed a tool about personal core values that we have started at the individual and working us up in the organization to the teams and so on. Because we thought it was very important to start with the individuals, that they know their own values before we start cooperating about some kind of corporate values or team values and so on. And for now, I'm also interested in connecting values with AI in some way. I have my own thoughts about tools, but I'm reaching out and see what's there in the world for the moment. Is there already some tools that is very good and working, great. Maybe I can use them, or I can get some inspiration or whatever.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guro, thank you for mentioning all the nice things you've mentioned in the chat. And Daniel, would you like to give us a little background about why you're here?
Sure. Sorry if there is like any background noise here. So yeah, so I am an engineer. You can say like a machine learning engineer. Nowadays, you can say also like a AI engineer, a fancy way to say it. And I'm working in Car Clinic. It's an Italian company. We do repair shops. So far so good. What they're trying to call me or they bring me here is to find any possibility of using AI or any technology. So far so good. I'm trying to see what people are seeing besides just ChatGPT and Gemini, that are the normal uses, and also how they see all these models. Because I mean, you kids, you see this thing as a tool that they use nowadays, and they, to be honest, can become addictive too, right? And then I can see all of these models as just numbers or formulas, because that's how I see these solutions. So far so good.
Wonderful. Tell us where you're calling from. Where are you from?
Italy. I'm calling from Italy.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I would like to add something. I'm an educated social psychologist. So there you have my academic.
Very good. Thank you, Thomas. So the reason this group started was I've joined the team of World Values Day, and every year in October we have what we call a values-thon. And I was talking to Charles Fowler, who is normally here but is traveling today. So he's the founder of World Values Day, and he can't be with us, unfortunately. But he and I were speaking and said, you know, what are we doing with values and AI when we were getting ready for last year's event in October? And he said, well, till now, nothing. And I said, then we need a place for people to be able to discuss this. So we started this last October on World Values Day. And many of the people who joined us said, you know, Rhonda, this is something we need to talk about more than on just one day of the year, because World Values Day only takes place once. And since December, we've been running this monthly group of sessions to just give people the chance to come in and discuss the things that are important to them, get some insights. If you have questions about particular tools or particular uses of things. I am not an expert. I am not an AI person per se, but I'm a global strategic communication guide. I've had my own business in Germany for 37 years, but I'm American by birth, as you can probably hear from my accent. And I just believe that we need this kind of a space where we are today to actually talk about AI, not in the I'm a wonderful expert and I can show you how to do everything. There are those people in the world. On the other hand, there are all those people who say, I'm totally afraid of this. I don't want anything to do with it. I have a feeling we're the wonderful people in the middle. And that's the place that we wanted to have for people, so that from the values perspective, but also from what's happening with the technology, as Daniel so well put it, you know, what is there besides just one or the other tool? There are so many wonderful things happening at the moment. And we wanted this just to be this 30 minutes to sit down, to share, to explore anything I can do to help you show a specific tool if there's something you're looking for or something that would be interesting for you. That's what we're here to do. So this isn't something where I set up anything ahead of time and say, this is what we're looking at today. That comes from people in the group. We've had all kinds of interesting things that we've discussed in these sessions since December. And anybody who has a question or something specific that they think, now that we've heard who everybody is in the room, would like to talk about, please go ahead and just unmute yourself and bring it in, and we will see how we can continue the discussion, because this for us is the place to make sure that you learn what it is that you're still looking for based on your background. And we have such wonderful people in the room with various backgrounds, which is great. But also that we learn from each other in this kind of a discussion forum that we have here. So anybody, if you can't use your microphone, go ahead and put things in the chat. And if not, just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask a question or bring up something that you think it would be helpful for this group to be talking about for the next few minutes. Anne, go right ahead.
Yeah, based on your introduction, my initial thought would be that in terms of businesses and organizations and schools and beyond, everybody has a mission statement, a set of aims, a set of values, but how you would go about linking your core purpose, your core mission, your values, to then link that to something which is artificial, I guess. Yeah, how do you pull the two together would be my big question.
Okay. I see unfortunately we've lost Agiro for the moment. Anybody have any thoughts to Anne's question about how we bring all these things together? Thomas or Daniel, would you have any ideas you'd like to share? Thomas?
Not really. I'm got that question myself. So for the moment, I can say for the moment, my thoughts is maybe trying to develop some tool based on some AI, ChatGPT or something, whatever, to help the individual guide themselves as a compass or something according to their own personal values. But I'm not sure. I don't know how far other companies or other places has come regarding values and connecting values with the AI. From my point of view, it's one thing to be aware of your values, something else to behave according to them, and it's also another thing, be able to communicate them in a manner that's connecting people, because from my point of view, I can have value regarding let's say openness, but to me openness can mean something different from what something for regarding another person's. So a lot of times I think we talk about maybe openness, but we miss the connection, and I think that's why it's really important for each person to define their own values, so they are able to communicate to others, and they need to communicate back, and then we maybe find the connection spots. I have discovered the definition is sometimes the words are missing, but the definition is actually connecting, but using different words.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes the definition connects us. It's important to talk about the definition regarding the values itself, mm-hmm. to connect people, and also connect those with behavior. And also regarding behavior, it's a lot of interpretation and how what we believe they are trying to communicate, mm-hmm. because we communicate in different ways, different behaviors. For instance, I had a woman that loved baking, and when she started working at the place, she started baking cakes and bring to the working place. But the other colleagues thought she was trying to, I don't have the English word,
trying to influence them.
Influence, but in a bit negative way.
Yes.
Try to influence and get approval from maybe managers or something. So the colleagues saw down on her. Mm-hmm. But from her point of view, it was just a sign that she loved the work, place and their colleagues, and she wanted to bake a cake to them because she loved them. So it's the different points of view, and we need to talk about the definition or what we are trying to communicate. That's one thing, and to help people doing that, I think it would be good in different situations in life where you have a challenging decision to make or something, or maybe it's just in kind of the challenging decision. Maybe you can use AI to help you to if you have learned by AI your type of personal values. So my thought now is maybe develop some kind of a digital twin or something. I don't know if
there are very good ways to do that already, Thomas. So that's
yeah, maybe it is. So I don't know, but yeah, good.
There are lots of opportunities for that.
Yeah.
Your examples were very good. I mean, I do a lot of things with culture and communication, so that makes a lot of sense what you were talking about, and making sure that the values somehow, as you said, what the definition is in one place or for one person isn't always one-to-one for the person on the other side. That's extremely important to keep in mind. Thank you for your contribution. I just saw Argiro. I don't know. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name? Can you speak now? Maybe not. Okay. I just saw a nice face for just a moment, but not anymore. Okay. Might be a problem with the connection. Okay. Good. Daniel, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, so I guess there is like one word that I like to say also from Thomas is about the baking. So think about using these models as a recipe. So in no background engineer, but like a normal background, you can start like you have the LM model, or are you going to use one that is already in being used? Either is OpenAI, ChatGPT, Gemini, or Cloud, just to say a few. Then you have the data. Thomas talked about all data. Unfortunately, or you can say it's a good or a bad thing. We don't talk about people itself as people. We talk about data.
Yeah.
So your data for us is like even if it's personal or public info, that's what we need, and that's what also these models needs. So you have enough data for feeding this system, or you don't have enough data. That's also what you have to keep in mind. Because, for example, what happened in my company is that we do have the data of all the clients, but we're coming to the point that we have privacy, and I cannot put data in one of these models. Something happened and is not like the best option or the approach that we want to give also clients to have this public system. And at the end, it's like more or less you think or keep like a future look. If this system is going to be like a tool everyone can use, like a tool an engineer can use, or maybe like a tool everyone will get addicted to use. Why? Because what we see nowadays is like people stop more or less making or creating new mails, new texts, new books, and then just go to ChatGPT, they go to Gemini, and they tell them, okay, make this better, make this formal, and at some point we are losing this improvement that we get growing up as writing better text and better text.
Yeah. I agree about the last one. We are losing some knowledge or skills, maybe.
Okay. I'm going to ask Argiro one more time if she can now say something. Yes.
I think you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had some issues with my connectivity, so I'm back, I hope.
Wonderful.
I'm not sure I heard the question, though. So can you please please repeat it, because I have some things in my mind, but I'm not sure I replied to the question that you posed.
There's not a specific question. It was just that Anne had said something about how are we bringing these things in, and we are all just sharing now about the things that we are seeing in the world as far as what we're doing with AI and how that aligns with the values and what we're trying to do in the world in a better place. And we've seen that you have a bachelor in psychology and you're looking at ethics and AI in education. So you and Pam have something in common, and have something in common, obviously. And so share your ideas about what you're thinking. Yeah.
So I'm the program leader of a bachelor in psychology here in Greece, and the last year, couple of years, but the last year, it's very evident. You know, when you see students' coursework that they have used AI, it's very obvious, because especially if you know who the student is, but even if you don't know who the student is and you see the output, you know what you get. It's the bullets. They don't even try to paraphrase it or form it in a way that does not show that they used AI. So I'm very worried about the ethics behind it. So a student should be aware that they are using someone else's knowledge. I'm not sure whether they know that this is the output of, you know, it's not that they refer to the literature and they get what the literature necessarily says. The sources are not valid. So they produce something that they don't know whether it's right or wrong. And they are not, you know, they are not aware of that. They are not aware of how AI is used. Another thing that has to do, it doesn't have to do with students only. It's a worry I have. For example, when we communicate and we are using AI to help us, you know, write something to make it look better, where is the authenticity in communication? And that's something that it's very important for us in a psychotherapeutic frame of reference. Where is the authenticity? Is this communication authentic? So these are some of the things I'm thinking about AI and values.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was excellent. I often just show a tool to help people. Are you familiar with Perplexity as a tool? Have you heard of
Just a bit? Just a bit.
Okay. Let me just share the screen for a moment and show you what Perplexity looks like, because one of the things you just mentioned about people using things and not knowing where they come from, that's exactly what doesn't happen with Perplexity. How can I find a good source for AI and values? I have no idea what this is going to say. I'm just putting this in as a prompt. And what happens with Perplexity, if you haven't had the chance to use it before, is you get an overview of all kinds of things. It gives you extra questions that you may want to ask, things that it thinks of based on what you have asked. But the most interesting thing is this part up here that says sources. And when you click on the sources, you see exactly where it went to get the answer that it gave you. Right? So if people are working in Perplexity, and those people who are doing things with research, or they say to me, Rhonda, I have to make citations, I have to prove where something came from. If you're not using Perplexity, it's the thing I would recommend, because you see, to get this answer, it referred to these 28 websites. So it gives you a wonderful opportunity to know exactly where it comes from. You also get a chance to read, you know, more intensely in whatever it is that you're doing. And if you haven't had a chance to look at Perplexity yet, this is something I would suggest maybe for you, Agiro, as a way to make sure that you can check on things and know where it's actually coming from. I hope that helps. Yes, please go right ahead.
I would like to ask, if you know it, whether Perplexity has access to academic resources, such as articles, for example.
I don't know everything that it has access to, but I'm sure if you went in and asked it and say, I would like to have such and such and such, it would then tell you if it has access to those things or not.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm looking at the clock because we have said this is a 30-minute session. I have more than 30 minutes if you'd like to stay. But the other thing I would like to show you, you will be receiving an email tomorrow with all of this information, so you don't have to try to write anything down or to do anything. You will be receiving an invitation to our platform, and that will be in the email. And this is a group that I have online. This is what's called a Mighty Network. It's like Face Group, but this is private. So when you come in here, if you join the group, you don't have to worry about everything getting out into the rest of the world, because this is a private group that I own. But we have then, for all of the sessions that we have here, we have our own special group inside here. So when you go in, you can share things. When I see other things that I think are important for people to look at, you also will find all of the videos of all the sessions we've had during this time. But just to show you the one thing that I remember Charles had added to this, and I'm just looking for where it is. He had found a wonderful article about the Cambridge Handbook of Law, Ethics, and Policy of Artificial Intelligence, for example. So this is on our group, and you would have access to this. This is a free group. Feel free to join us. And the other thing you get when you're in here that may be important for you is we have a database where you can put in your information and say who you are and what you are bringing to the conversation or things you're looking for. But the other thing that many people really enjoy looking at is our materials database. So you can add things to this by using this form, but if you want to see all of the things that we have talked about over the time, they are set up into categories, and you actually can see whether it's a website, whether it's an actual tool, whatever it is. You can add to this as well. You see the name, you see the link, and you also see information about this tool that people have added. So this is available to you, and tomorrow when I send you the email, you will get the information to see how you can join us in this group if you would like to continue the conversation, even for the times you can't physically be here with us in the room. All right. Does anybody have any other questions or closing comments that they would like to make today? Thomas and Agio, okay.
Yeah, so after I told about me, you said there was already some tools. Are there these tools you are thinking about in this group?
I will make sure that I put in the newest ones that I know about in there as well, to make your own digital twin, as you're calling it. There are lots of different names for this.
Yeah, but if there's already is there already some tools that are
yes, there are lots and lots
like digital twins already?
Yes, there are lots and lots of tools for this. I will put in some different options in the list, and you'll be able to check. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I know a gentleman that I'm working with who had, I don't know, 30 years of all of his journals. He's been writing a diary or journals for years and years and years, and he put all of them into one of these things. And this digital twin now actually coaches him. So if he's working on something and he gets stuck, he talks to his digital twin and says, based on all of the things that I put in there, what patterns are you seeing? What do you think that I should be more aware of? How do you think I can get out of this situation? And as I said, I don't know. I don't write a journal, so I would never have the last 30 years of everything I have ever thought, but he has, and it's working extremely well for him. So I know, for example, that works. I also know coaches like Marshall Goldsmith, who've done this already a few years ago because he's getting older. If you want to ask him about things, you can go in and the tool will answer as if it were Marshall, based on all the input that he has.
Yeah, okay.
So there are lots of good things for that online. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right? Agiro, you wanted to mention something as well. Yes.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering whether we can add a member in the group. For example, I
course.
have my sister who's a teacher in
Anytime.
primary school, and she works with values in the. Okay, thank you.
Anybody,
Thank you very much.
this is an open group, and as I said, we only meet online once a month during these 3 sessions, but anybody can go in, anybody can post new ideas like the one I just showed you from Cambridge that Charles posted. Anything you see in there that you think would be interesting for people, please go ahead and add it, because not everybody can come. It's only 1 day a month, but people can always go in and see things in their own time, which is the reason we set up the group as well. But a lot of people prefer live interactions, so we decided to do both. Okay. Other questions or other final thoughts you would like to share today? And as I said, tomorrow you'll get an email with the link to the group, so you'll be able to go in, see the recording, see the other 2 sessions that will be happening later today as well, plus any of the previous ones. Feel free to put your name in the members list so people can find out how to contact you if you're interested in that. And we're really, really pleased that you could join us today and make sure that you have the chance to talk about the things that you'd like to talk about. That's what we're here for. And as I said, continue and going through in the group, ask questions, find out what other people are interested in. And we look forward to having you hopefully come to another group in the future. And please feel free to reach out after you have my emails or address tomorrow if there's anything you need in particular yourself and would like to talk to me about it. Let me know. We'll set up a call. And you wanted to mention something.
Just to say thank you very much, Rhonda. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
Thank you
all.
very much. Have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Okay. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.